Hello and welcome everyone to the Friday, July 21st edition of the Contributor Comms team meeting. As usual, a reminder that we operate under a code of conduct, which essentially says to be respectful of your fellow speakers and attendees and generally be excellent to each other. To start off the meeting, we like to try and offer an opportunity for anyone who's new to the call to introduce themselves. Totally optional. You don't have to. You can use either chat or you can unmute. You have an opportunity to do that now if you would like to say hello and tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're here.
I mean, I can be an icebreaker if you want.
I don't know if anyone is totally new today. I think everyone has been here at least once. But you're still welcome to introduce yourselves at any time. Or if you would like to request that we do introductions, happy to do that. Otherwise, I think we should go ahead and start because I take up the whole time of these meetings.
You thorough.
I do. I do go over it thoroughly. Cool. Yes, looks good. So let's start with, should I start with what Frederico said? I'll just start with what Frederico said in the chat so that we make sure that we've covered that. So Frederico posted in the chat just before we got started. He said that he's still caught in a meeting, so he isn't over here yet. I assume he might join in later, but his updates were that the SIG CLI Spotlight has been published. Wonderful. Thank you, Arpit.
Yep.
We really appreciate
Awesome
that. And he's confirmed that he does have shadow criteria written in the role description, so no major update.
Cool.
Still ongoing. Okay, so that's Frederico's updates.
Easy enough.
And our first update and big win, definite big win in our notes was that the SIG Spotlight is out. Again, thank you, Arpit. Do you want to say anything about the SIG CLI Spotlight or anything, Arpit? What you learned from the experience?
I interviewed I interviewed someone for literally first time, so it was a nice experience. And one more thing, I got a DM from Nitish that he wants me to take over the SIG Note Spotlight because he is busy with the release work.
Yeah, release can really take up more of your time than you expect at the beginning. All right,
also, I have a doubt. I made a PR for adding myself as a shadow in the contributor forms for social media manager, which is currently used. So, but that PR is maybe I saw the GitHub yesterday. So, is there was any problem which I can fix, or it is something wrong? I don't understand.
So what happened there is I had a PR that I had opened to change the README, just update some text in there, and I lost it for like 2 months. And Avinash found it for us again. Thank you. And so we finally got that added in, which means that the README changed, which is what you were trying to update. So now you're
out of sync.
Change is blocked. Yeah. But anyway, I figured that we should resync on that because we discussed that you wanted to improve your social media management skills and use the shadowing position to do that. But you could also just do that without being a shadow. So it might be better for us to do a little bit more work on that first, because the point of a shadow is to take over as lead at some point, and the social media lead has a lot of responsibility. So we discussed that you don't have a whole lot of experience working with a lot of like the tools that we use and doing a lot of the tasks that the social media lead needs to do. So I think we should start with just like some mentoring on social media stuff and see how you like it, and then maybe do the lead part. Does that sound okay? And we can like do some mentoring. You can learn some skills, and then we'll reassess if you want to do that PR again. For now, we'll just close it. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, it is okay for me.
Cool. I want to make sure that you get the skills that you want to develop mainly. Cool. We'll discuss it more over Slack then. I'll update that here in the notes. Arpit interested in social media. Skills development. Requested shadow. Shadow and just work on skills. Yeah, it'll also be the first time whenever we do end up having someone take on the shadow role and move into a lead position there, it'll be the first time that one has changed hands from me to someone else. So I need to make sure that I know what I'm doing there. So this will help me figure that out as we go along as well.
I also think this could be a great time for documentation for folks, right? Yeah. Like, here's our standards-ish kind of thing, right? Like, we can flesh it out a little bit more as we go, but yeah, totally.
Which
totally
is
worth like putting mentoring into a doc.
Which is also a oh yeah, I guess the mentoring is kind of its own side thing. We should probably do that. That's a good point. I'm gonna write that down real quick. We should. I'm gonna put that into new items. We should put more information about mentoring and skills development in our repo. Yeah, because one of the reasons I wanted to do the update on clarifying what a shadow is because I think a lot of folks come in and they're new to the project and they're looking for mentorship. And they feel like shadow is how they're going to get mentoring, which is one way to do it. But usually it starts with other mentoring, which is usually not clear to folks. So maybe we could make that better. Okay, I'm going to keep going down the updates and big wins, and then we'll do the new item. What's next? Oh, yes. Avinash was mentioning that we had needed to update the reviewers since we have new lead. So we were discussing that before we started the recording. What we need to do there is there are owners files in the repos that we own, which the repos that we own are the contributor tweets repo and the regular contributor comms where all of our stuff lives. So both of those have an owners file, and we need to update those owners files in order to update who gets pinged for reviews on things when they come in. So that's a reminder for you and me, Chris, I guess, that we need to do that.
Update reviewers, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also Avinash is a new shadow for sub-project lead. But I think you're already...
I thought I put that in. Did I not put that in?
You might have done that.
Yeah.
But I was just wondering, I was thinking, like, do we need to update reviewers for that at all? But I think you already have all the reviewer privileges that we have.
Yeah. Let's see.
We can check that, though.
So I put Avinash in as the sub-project lead shadow. The owner's file, Avinash is an approver. So that gives you and a reviewer. So yeah. Should we be pinging? I forget the name, but the handle is IMNO still.
Imran,
that's right. Duh. Sorry. My brain. Sadness.
Oh, good.
So yeah, basically, I think we just need to remove Enron. Is that it?
Or
Atarva too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They've
then we
both been really
add...
busy. Haven't been able to be a part of the group lately.
Right. Okay. So. It's an easy change. We'll just figure it out.
Yeah.
Put it on the list.
Avinash could do it. He has all the permissions, and you're much better about GitHub than I am. So as your sub-project lead shadow, you want to do that?
Well, that was more like asking me to do it. And
yes, she rephrased it, if you noticed.
I'm pretty sure you asked yourself to do it, honestly. You are the one that brought it up. Way to be self-driven.
Yeah.
All right.
Just ping me when you're done and I'll approve it. Right. Like that's it. Just don't approve your own stuff. That's all.
Yeah. Which you can do as a sub-project lead. That is the one of the trickiest things.
Yes.
Is that you can approve your own stuff.
I could totally shove things through, but I don't rule by diktat.
Yeah. Should not do that though. The general rule is that you should have at least 2 people LGTM something. So at least one LGTM when you have approver privileges.
Yeah, pretty much.
And my own LGTM doesn't count, right? I mean, technically, I'm talking about.
I think it technically does. Like you can just put the LGTM tag on it, and the approved tag on it, and it could just go. But try to get someone else. But
please don't do that. Yeah, please don't hit approve on your own stuff. That's just it's a big no-no in our community.
Yeah. I feel like I've probably done that before. I had to revert it and then I had to get someone to do it. And don't do that to yourself. Make sure you get someone else to LGTM. Cool. So Avinash is going to take care of the reviewers. We should update the ones we should update both the contributor tweets one and the comms one, because tech lead does have the higher privileges in the tweets repo as well, because the tech lead is in charge of the automation in that repo. Though we're not doing anything with it right now, Sujay still needs those privileges in case he wants to do anything with that at any point.
It's still on my list, but things keep popping up. If I get a really wild hair, I'll try tinkering with some Zapier stuff this weekend to go from GitHub to Twitter or Buffer. I mean, it's possible. It's possible.
I mean, we can do it, but the issue is that we're still not going to be able to do the scheduling, right? If we decided,
if we do it right, we should be able to say, hey, this is an approved, like message issue, PR, whatever. We could keep a running log of tweets or something and just say, hey, this tweet is approved. And hopefully we can get Zapier to trigger on the approval and then push it to Buffer, which would then throw it in both queues to be scheduled.
But like if we wanted to schedule it for a specific time,
that becomes a manual process, I feel like. Unless we change the form and have it have a due date kind of thing. I'll have to it really.
I think we discussed that and it was going to be gross.
It's one of those things where it's like, this really depends on Zapier, and
we can at least do that much though.
Or something crazy we do with SIG infra. That's entirely possible. If we have the skills and want and desire, we could have something doing this for us too.
Cool.
That's an option.
Let us know what you find.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it for. Oh no, it isn't. Oh, I put an update about the SIG ContribEx blog in there. Just an update that I finally answered most of the questions in that. So kind of moving forward on that finally.
Oh, the SIG spotlight,
yeah, the ContribEx spotlight.
Cool.
So I was thinking about it, so I just put it into the notes instead of doing it as part of the table.
Totally fine. That
section is for any updates or big wins that we want, so you can do that. The table is to make sure that we don't miss anything. Right. So moving on from updates and big wins to new items. Anything folks want to throw in the? I'm just going to go into new items. Social media handbook needs update. Avinash, that was a good catch. You already talked to me about it, but would you like to explain?
Yeah. So currently the social media handbook talks about Twitter Together, which was our previous tool, and we are
not using it anymore. So
Yeah.
we
I mean, it's
probably...
technically still there, right? I think it might be broken, but I think
In
it's
theory,
technically
it's still there,
there.
but it will never work again. That's the
Yes.
thing, right? Like
Yeah.
it will never work again because of the API changes at Twitter. So
Oh yeah, that's right. So
yeah, like we're not going to pay Musk, you know, I guarantee you that. The tweet.
You're right. I did not present my screen. Thank you, Arpit. I usually present the, yeah, sorry. I'll fix that.
And this is why I was losing my place in the notes for some reason. It's amazing. I didn't even
there you
pick
go.
up on it.
Good call. Thank you. Anyway, yes. You were saying about Twitter Together versus Buffer.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead.
We should probably add more about Buffer and the flow, how things are going to be, right? And all those information.
True. You know, if you're going to work on Zapier stuff, maybe there's more updates that are needed there about very new things.
That's a very good point. Social media handbook. All right.
I put that on my physical to-do list.
Same.
Or however much that does.
Social media handbook. Oh gosh.
And then we had been mentioning that in the table because we have it in the table that all of the handbooks need updates to clarify shadowing criteria, which Frederico has done because he is the model of a leader of a thing and actually updates things. But the other handbooks I think still need updates there. I should put that on my physical to-do list. Oh wait, that is what I put on my physical to-do lists. Okay, just gonna leave that then. Very good. Cool. So that's the social media handbook updates, and also a reminder that the other handbooks need updates. Also, if we're getting rid of, we decided in the end to get rid of events lead for now.
Did we?
So we need to do a PR to remove that from the repo, I guess.
Oh, I was not able to find my unmute button.
Yeah.
The tabs.
But now you have.
Yeah. So, so do you really want to remove it, or you want to say that this is something that we don't want? We are not going to have for now.
A deprecated thing. We could have like, I wouldn't want it to be right there. You know, we could put like something at the beginning of it that says deprecated, but I feel like at some point we might go through and like count the number of leads that we have and might include that if it's just there. So we could put like another folder and be like deprecated information folder, but then that'll just become a folder full of things that we never go into.
The events lead doesn't already have a rule book at the very least. We could just toss that this role is deprecated, and that's why it's not on the README and all this other stuff at the very top.
It has a handbook, doesn't it?
And move on.
Yeah, it has a handbook.
Yeah, it has an handbook.
Toss it in the top of the handbook and say it's deprecated for now. And, you know, as of last week or whenever we made the decision, you can go back in the notes. And that's the update. Just pull it from the README and update the handbook.
Could do it that way. Like I said, that makes it kind of look like if you go to the handbook page, it makes it look like it's still there, kind of. Should we change the name of the file also?
Yeah, you might as well, because of the way we're listing things. Yeah, just say, you know, deprecated either at the beginning or end. Probably the beginning.
So, remove from main README. Update file name to have. Do you want to do like bracket deprecated?
Can you do that with Git? Yeah, you can. Okay. Does
that work as a file name thing?
Yeah, it should.
Fine. Yeah. At the beginning and add a line to the handbook at the top saying it is deprecated as of mid 2023 or whatever you want to say.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sound like a good plan?
Yeah, Sounds good. I'll take that as an AI for myself.
Sounds good.
Cool.
All right. And oh yeah, I added as we were talking that we should put some more information about mentoring and skills development in our repo somewhere. That's something to noodle on. So that's it for what we have for updates, big wins, and new items. Anything that we've missed?
The board. Just kidding.
It's not missed. We're just not there yet.
Oh, you tell it, Luna.
All right. Sounds like we can go on ahead to the board then. What is this? This is before the 30-minute mark by 3 minutes, and we're going to the board.
Wow.
Doesn't sound right.
What is it? Okay, come on up.
We don't have anything in ready for review. I want to make that update about SIG node. It was assigned to Natish as of May 5th-ish. He was interested in help for it because he had too much going on, so it was paused. He had created the questions. Arpit, did he share the questions with you?
No, actually I just sent him a DM like how much he has progressed. So I also don't know that he has prepared. So maybe I should ask him for that.
Yeah, because it says in here that he told us that he had the questions drafted. So he should have those for you.
So I need to take the interview.
Yeah. All right, I'll update the assignee on that. Maybe. Do you have org membership, Arpit? We have not done that yet.
No.
Okay.
Can I apply for that now?
You have a blog post out, so you've been through the whole blogging process.
Yeah. Is that
enough?
I think we need two things.
I think there are some changes that have been made in terms of membership.
Oh, you're right. Yes.
There was some mail, so we might want to look into it first.
That's right. We'll check on that for you. I'm going to write that down physically. You should be close either way. Yeah, I mean, you've published something, so that is significant.
All right, so here's the member, which is entry-level requirements. Active contributor in the community, sponsored by 2 reviewers, and multiple contributions to the project. So 1 PR is not enough. Probably 2 or 3. Is that cool?
Did you work with me on KubeCon tweets?
Ooh, that counts.
No.
I think last time I asked for that, but we actually never got into that conversation after it.
Okay. That will be coming up. So you could definitely do a bunch of work on that, and that would definitely be enough. And we could get you in before
we could do your org membership at the Contributor Summit.
We could. That is true.
That would be fun.
Though, if you're attending the conference, then we'll want to get it in before that so that you can be at the Contributor Summit.
Right. Well, that's true. Good point. Sorry. Didn't think about that.
Okay. So we'll want to do any other things that you've worked on. You haven't done, definitely haven't done Contributor Summit. Yeah. If you've done any other things that we're forgetting about, let us know about it.
Yeah. Like
even
not GitHub things. That's fine.
Yeah, even non-GitHub things, if you've like written a tweet in Buffer or done any of, I don't know, any stuff that is community related that you think might count, just let us know. We'll let you know if it counts. Otherwise, we'll make sure to get you in on KubeCon tweet planning because we need to work on your skills on that anyway, because we were going to do that. Cool. And we also were going to work on other social media stuff. So we'll get you going there one way or another. Sound like a good plan?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, very good. So we should, I need to, can I just remove right now? Yes, okay. Update comment. All right, so we'll chat more over Slack and make sure to get you a couple more contributions in, and then we'll do your org membership. Very good. All right, I'm going to move on in the board. SIG architecture. Looks like Federico is working on that himself, and he said there were no other updates. So that's that one. We did SIG node. Chris said that he was going to work on some Zapier stuff. Like I mentioned, SIG ContribEx. Vika had written those questions quite a while ago, and I have finally answered most of them. I also sent it to the other co-chairs and tech leads within SIG ContribEx. I don't think any of them have answered any of it, so it might just end up being an interview of me anyway. But we are actively working on that. SIG release spotlight. This one was also Nitish. He said that he had already sent out the questions and was expecting answers. He's not on today. I don't know if he also needs help with that one. I'll ask. Which one is it? SIG release. Oh yeah, since he's doing a bunch of release stuff, he's probably okay on that one. All right, I've asked him if he needs any help on that. Events lead shadow requirements. We already went over that. Each individual one. Oh yeah, the contributor summit spotlight. That's a cool idea. Who was owning the contributor summit spotlight?
Maybe Federico is doing that.
Is it? That sounds right. That sounds like a thing.
Oh, FSM, that is Federico, yeah.
Oh, yes. I like totally skipped over that. All right, I'm going to assign this to Federico.
I didn't know who it was at first. It was like, what does FSM mean? Not knowing who is this? Oh, that's the person. Yeah.
Even if it is someone else, it should go through Federico. So that should be fine. Create an automation folder in the comms repo.
Yeah, we basically, I think, do we have like a tool like draw.io? Like I'll just use something like that to describe our current automation flows.
I do not know, but that sounds cool.
Yeah. I mean, so here's an example I did a long time ago. And this was hand drawn, but it used the logos of the services. And this was for something I did. But this was before a lot of stuff that prevented me from doing it. But yeah, it was basically this. Dropped it in chat there.
I think Excalidraw is more like freeform drawing, right?
Is
Whereas, it? Excalidraw, Avinash mentioned in the chat. I don't know. Doesn't. What was this one made with again?
This was just me on my iPad, literally.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like,
so that's also freeform. So Excalidraw
right. So yeah,
might work for this too.
It's entirely possible, but like just a flow chart kind of thing, basically, is what I'll create.
It's cute, and I like it.
Yeah. This was really popular for a little while. It taught people how to use a service they never used before as a scheduling tool. So yeah. Tumblr has a queuing thing. It's kind of nice.
Ooh. I like it.
So yeah, but parts of this is already broken. So yeah. Diagram automations. I'll just give me a ton of work to do today.
I mean, you could also delegate. You could ask for some help on that if you want.
No, I mean, I need to do all these things, right? Like,
okay.
Yeah. DM somebody though.
I'm going to update that as a comment.
Oh,
so
Mermaid
that we have
JS is
updated
what we
status.
use for diagrams officially. I need to learn that apparently.
Oh, we actually added a thing on the table last week to remove the event lead.
Oh.
I should put
Or
the
just
new comments
flat
about
out
that in there.
remove it. Yeah, that's
I'll put the steps in here and assign that to Avinash. There we go. Alrighty. And that's all of the in progress items. And we're not even 40 minutes after.
wow, Caslin picking
What
up
is
the
this?
full speed
What
here.
is this? Okay, so let's go over the to-do list items. Unless anyone has anything else they want to go over. Spotlight on SIG API machinery. That's just a floating one that no one has done yet. API machinery is actually really cool.
Very cool indeed.
If you're going to be at the contributor summit and you want to take on one of these,
that'd be a good
last time I took notes for them during their session, and they had cute little enamel pins of turtles stacked on top of each other. So I was just saying they're a cool group.
Wasn't API machinery being worked on?
Is it?
Isn't that? Oh, it's architecture.
Oh,
yeah, it's easy to get these confused.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
There's so many SIGs.
That's how you know you're in the community, when you can actually say, wait a minute, didn't there already? Oh, that's right.
It's true. Knowing them well enough to be able to say that is takes some doing. What is this that's suggestion?
Oh, yeah, what is this?
What is? Ooh. Yeah.
Oh, hello.
A lovely diagram.
Yeah, this chart is made using Mermaid.
Oh, it is.
Mermaid.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right. This could work.
I think there was actually a talk.
No, we implemented
what was
Mermaid
it?
JS on the case.io blog and site. There was a blog about it, and then somebody did a talk, I think.
Yeah, someone did a talk at Contributor Summit about Mermaid JS.
Yeah, because it's new and cool.
Yeah.
So I'll look into it. It'll take, like with Mermaid, I think it'll just take me learning the syntax and off I go kind of thing. It'll be easily done. Luna, you can't possibly need to go outside again.
Chris, was we talking about this kind of thing? Like this kind of chart? Are you expecting
the Mermaid JS talk thing?
Yeah.
It was about using Mermaid JS to do stuff like this for blogs on the Kubernetes blog.
Yep. There was a blog about it somewhere. I don't know if it's enabled on the dev site though. Kubernetes.dev.
Oh yeah, it was here. Yes. I'm gonna edit my comment on that and say
no.
Mermaid.js might be a good tool to use. Good call, Sujay. Thank you for the example.
Yes.
And for bringing that up.
No.
Cool. Other to-do list items. So SIG API machinery, guidelines for sensitive end user impacting comms. Always an important thing to work on someday. Case study based on the CDN article. Yeah, that would have been good to do. We did put that in here only 3 weeks ago. I doubt that we're actually going to do it. I don't foresee myself making time to do that. Moving on. Promote new contributor workshop content. Oh, there's actual movement going on this, right? Chris, have you seen any updates? Like, it's supposed to move soon is the update, I think. You're talking, but I can't hear you. Yeah, you're muted.
Sorry, Luna was barking, so I muted it. Bob was going to reach out to Craig. Let me reach out to Bob. See if he did that yet. But yeah, this should have, we want to be able to talk about this at KubeCon. NA, seriously.
I will put an actual update on that.
New contributor workshop.
Yeah, so they're hoping to get that integrated before KubeCon so that we can start telling people that the new contributor workshop course will be working and available.
The mermaid blog post was on the dev site. Sorry.
I'm
mistaken.
Nice.
Yeah.
You could post the link.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Sounds good.
Cool. Lots of resources now.
That's a good thing. I'll add that in here as well. Update. Very good.
Awesome.
All right. So new contributor workshop content should actually move before KubeCon. Comms guidelines for sensitive security topics in particular. Someday, if someone joins the group that is super into security, maybe then we'll assign that to them.
Should we merge those two? User impacting comms and security comms? I mean,
I think
one is more around like losses in the community and how to communicate sudden, like urgent changes, right? Effectively. This came this one came from the whole Kates.registry.io thing, or registry.case.io.
Both are sensitive comms, very different sensitive comms, but it would make sense probably to have them in the same
kind of thing. Yes, this also includes security at some point when we have someone that's interested in security. But that's actually going to be like a Bob question too, Kazin, because I think steering actually manages those comms. Like they hand it off to SIG release to deal with, and there's embargoes and all this other stuff that happens.
Yeah, for like
for the CVEs and stuff like that. Yeah,
those kinds of things. Thank you. Yeah. And I think part of the documentation would be like, make sure it's going through this process.
Bob did talk to Craig.
Nice. Cool. So I'm going to go ahead and deprecate this one. How should I deprecate that? Should I delete it? Should I done it? Should I won't fix it? It's not really won't fix. It's just that we're moving it to something else. Whatever. We're never going to look at it again. So I'll put it into won't fix.
There you go.
All right. And I've added that as a note into the other one.
Cool.
Very good. I like it when I get to drag and drop something on the board. New tools for notifying the comms team when a new issue is created. We had been exploring.
Can you please explain about this issue?
Yeah. Exactly. You're exactly who I was thinking of. So we were doing a bunch of exploration into this a while ago. Things we've already done. We updated the Kubernetes community repo issues template. So when you go to create an issue in Kubernetes community, one of the options is a comms request. So we added, see if we can look at it. We added a tag to our, this is just teams.yaml. That doesn't seem useful. That's not the template.
Oh, that is the team created for the comms team. We would have, there's a section where our names are written.
Yeah.
Right, but it says that it's the template for the issue, which it is not. Anyway.
Template to alert the team when a new marketing issue is created.
Yeah. So when you created
there was
an
another
issue.
link that was supposed to be in there. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a different link that was supposed to be in there.
It's one of the dot files, right?
But if you go to Kubernetes community and you go to issues and you create a new issue, you can see here that there's a contributor comms request.
Hmm.
So there's a template for this somewhere. If you hit get started,
I can find it.
But it doesn't have anything in it.
I don't think the PR was merged.
Okay. That sounds like a thing that would happen.
Oh, okay.
So at least we talked about updating that to tag the contributor comms team. So that's why it links to the team, is that we were going to like at this team in the issue template.
The issue template even says marketing request.
So
this is amazing.
That needs updating.
Found it though.
Could you share the link to that?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
Wonderful.
Drop that in for the template link.
Okay. To tag our team, which I think still needs to be updated also.
Yeah, like the file name's wrong. Everything's wrong.
Yeah, to find here. There's so much work in this one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we wanted to just like put in the body of the issue, like just something that tags our team so that when a new issue does get created with that template, it'll tag our team.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming that someone doesn't remove that from the issue, which they could totally do. So we were looking for other ways to do it that would be more robust. We also looked into the possibility of notifying us on Slack via a mention. I think that would be really cool if like an issue gets created and then we get a ping on Slack that an issue was created.
Oh, that's right. This
Thank you, Avinash. You're so good at finding things on GitHub. That is
I know.
An
this was
skill.
the Hina issue that never got changed.
Oh, right. Hina was a part of our group for a while and then got busy and then had to move on.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yep. Totally happens to folks. Totally fine.
Totally fine. But that meant
this is pretty much done. If you just want to copy pasta it and off you go.
It got auto closed.
Yeah.
Wow. Our workflows and automation actually working.
Mm-hmm.
That is probably correct. But also like, hold on. Let me take a look at this template. What do you want to send out? Yeah, it used to have this in there. Like, what do you want to send out? Please include a link to the draft and like some other stuff in here, which this looks broken, whatever is going on there. I guess we should look at this. Anyway, but none of that was in it when I looked at the issue. If I go to issue and I go to new issue, I go to contributor comms request and I hit get started. Oh no, it is there. There we go. What do you want to send out? Yeah. So this is where we would update it, which is not actually something that they can remove. Didn't that used to be something they could remove?
Do we actually use this?
We don't. The idea is for other people to use it.
The idea is, yeah, like other people would use this. But that is a very valid question. Do people actually use this? And no. I think the reason why is because there's no more contributor tweets. There's no more, like, people just come to the channel and ask. And if we really wanted to have a trackable process to this, which we kind of do on the board, this is what this would be for, but no one's done it since we've lost like contributor tweets. So that is a good question to ask.
You would be a great person to share your opinions on what you think of this workflow, Avinash.
If you could figure out the last time it was run and it's more than a year, I would say destroy it and let it be.
It's definitely more than a year, but even if it hasn't been used, the question then is like, would we prefer that it was used? Because we could do things to make this more well known in the community and say, hey, this is our process. Would you please use it? And we could try and drum up interest in it if we think it's a good process to have.
Can I add it in blog?
Yes, we could do like a Kubernetes dev site blog about like, hey, if you are a contributor and your group needs some communications shared, here's how you would request that via GitHub.
Let me check something real quick. I feel like there's something on the contributor site for that.
Usually what people do is they create issue and add the label, and I don't think they use templates. At least I don't.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of folks just
that is a good point.
That's the point. They just start with the, from scratch.
Yeah.
Luna, what? Took you out.
Maybe we need a new blog on how to work with contributor comms, and in the process, we figure out how we want people to work with us.
Yes. We should even have a diagram or workflow of some sort. That's like, maybe we do that first and go from there.
Yeah. We want this to work. We have 7 minutes left, so I don't expect us to figure that all out now.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So how the SIG ContribEx forms tag works? Like when someone add it, anyone can add it, right?
Yeah.
In the issue. So whenever someone add it, can I get notified?
That would be
I
great.
think that was part of the thing we were exploring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think there's some stuff in here about that somewhere. I think this was supposed to be about that.
All right.
That is, see it explicitly. That was also something we were trying to figure out before, is like, how does the SIG, which is a label that we made, right? We ended up making that label, comms.
The ContribEx comms, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Label, yeah. So the label doesn't exist in all repos. It only exists in like the communications or the community one, which makes sense. And we use it to notify us. Yeah, that is something that we were looking into, and I don't even see any useful notes about it. So if you'd like to investigate it, Jay.
Come on.
Yeah, sure.
Be right back.
Cool. Yeah. So there's some good stuff to do here. We need to investigate how that label works and if we can use it to notify us about issues that have that label one way or another. And we need to decide how we want other groups to work with us. Do we want to continue expecting them to go find our channel in Slack and tell us there? Do we want to make any changes to the tools that we have available in GitHub for them to request work from us? Are questions that we need to answer, and then make a blog post about it. I assume that we'll always like have the option open. If they ping us on Slack, we'll probably do the thing. On Slack.
Yeah, I think Slack would be the first option for folks.
How do we want folks to use GitHub though?
And if we want to get notified, I mean, where?
And if we want to get notified about GitHub stuff, where would we get notified?
I mean, where we get the notification in Slack?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
In that case, we will bother all the folks in the comms channel, right? Do we want that, or do we just?
I think that wouldn't be a bad thing, because whatever work that comes in, we generally discuss as a group especially if it comes in through Slack, it's good for everyone to know what work is coming in for us, so that if someone is really interested in it, they can ask to be part of it. So I would say that notifications on Slack would be a good thing for any GitHub requests.
Okay, that makes sense.
Cool. And we said that there is a way to do that, but we don't have any details really about how that worked. But good stuff. We have 3 minutes left. So I'm just going to update that issue for now, and I'm going to move it to in progress. For us
Maybe
to
you
do
can
more work on.
assign it to me for now.
Sure, I can do that. Thank you, Sujay. Taking that leadership responsibility and owning it. Oh, yeah, we still need to do that. Where did I just put it? I tried to move it up toward the top and I lost it.
Oh, it's the second one from the top.
It ended up down here. Anyway, Sujay. ST13. Wonderful. It has been assigned to you, Sujay. All right. Thank you all for the wonderful conversation on that. It was a useful discussion. And that was the last thing in our to-do. And we have 2 minutes left.
Wow.
Still ended up taking the whole time.
Fine. Totally fine.
It's wonderful. I'm glad that we have things to do that we are interested in and want to talk about. That is a good thing. So any last items? Arpit mentioned, can we modify the Slack bot to let us know when we have GitHub stuff going on? Something like that. There's some way that we can do it. Sujay will be doing some investigation there. You're also welcome to do some investigation.
Sorry, can you repeat once? That's it.
Arpit in the chat had asked, can we modify the Slack bot to notify us when GitHub requests come in, like you were saying? And I was saying you were gonna investigate that.
The one I added is not meant to, it's not meant for the announcement bot.
Right.
Yeah, if we want to announce in multiple channels, that's the use case.
No, we would want to just announce in our channel.
Yeah, single channel.
Yeah, but it might involve a Slack bot of some sort. I don't know what the actual doing of this will require. Maybe not our Slack bot. The term Slack bot is extremely confusing because it's both a generic term for a bot that is in Slack, and it's the term that we use specifically to mean that one bot that pings to all of our channels.
Minor detail.
Not good terminology here. We are at time. Any last items that folks want to talk about before I stop the recording? Going once. Going twice. And good. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording and say goodbye to YouTube. Let's see here. All right. Goodbye, YouTube.